Kumusta, everyone! Welcome to our deep dive into the spine-chilling world of the Aswang, a creature that has haunted the Philippines for generations. Growing up, we'd hear whispers of these creatures lurking in the shadows, their eyes glowing red in the darkness. These stories, passed down through generations, would send shivers down our spines and make us question if the shadows dancing in the moonlight were real or just figments of our imagination. Today we bring you 5 real-life encounters that will make you question the line between myth and reality. From the remote provinces to bustling cities, the Aswang's presence is felt across the archipelago. Brace yourselves as we unravel tales of terror where the line between folklore and lived experience blurs, and the Aswang emerges from the shadows. Our journey begins in the heart of Capiz, a province draped in the mystical allure of folklore and often dubbed the Aswang capital of the Philippines. It was the early 2000s and the community was abuzz with whispers about a reclusive woman named Aling Nena living on the fringes of a small barrio.
Aling Nena was different. She kept to herself, her eyes holding a distant look, her words few and far between. Some whispered that Aling Nena possessed an uncanny ability to heal the sick, using herbs and whispers, her methods shrouded in secrecy. Others, however, saw her as an outcast, her strangeness mistaken for something more sinister.
They pointed to her nocturnal wanderings, the way she seemed to disappear into the night, her silhouette melting into the darkness. One evening, a young boy named Miguel went missing. He had last been seen playing near the edge of the forest, not far from Aling Nena's hut. Panic gripped the village as the sun began to set, casting long, eerie shadows. The villagers, their fear fueling their suspicions, turned their gaze towards Aling Nena. They stormed her humble dwelling, their faces contorted with fear and anger. But Aling Nena was gone. The only evidence of her existence was the lingering scent of strange herbs and the unsettling silence that hung heavy in the air.
Days turned into sleepless nights as the search for Miguel continued, but he was never found. The villagers, their hearts heavy with grief and suspicion, were left to grapple with the unknown. Had the Aswang, in the guise of Aling Nena, taken their innocent Miguel, or was she simply an easy scapegoat, a victim of their own fear and prejudice?
The mystery of Aling Nena and Miguel's disappearance continues to haunt the village to this day. A chilling reminder that sometimes the monsters we fear are not the ones hiding in the shadows, but the darkness that resides within ourselves. The line between reality and folklore blurs, leaving behind a lingering sense of unease and a chilling question. Who is truly the monster in our midst? Our next encounter takes us to the verdant, mountainous region of Mindanao. It was 2015 and the air was thick with tension. A string of unexplained animal deaths had plagued a remote village nestled amidst the rolling hills. Goats, chickens, even carabaos drained of blood, their lifeless bodies bearing strange, unexplainable wounds. Fear snaked through the village, whispering on the wind. The villagers, their livelihoods dependent on their livestock, were on edge. They spoke in hushed tones of the Aswang, their voices laced with fear and trepidation. The gruesome nature of the killings, the precision with which the blood had been drained, pointed towards something sinister, something beyond the realm of the ordinary.
One night, under the cloak of a moonless sky, a young farmer named Ramon claimed to have seen it. A creature of the night, its eyes glowing with an eerie red light, hovering over the carcass of a newly slain animal. Ramon described a horrifying figure, half human, half beast, its long sharp claws dripping with blood. The creature, startled by Ramon's presence, had let out a piercing shriek, a sound that chilled him to the bone before disappearing into the darkness.
Ramon's story spread through the village like wildfire, fanning the flames of fear. Armed with bolos and fueled by adrenaline and fear, the villagers organized nightly patrols determined to protect their families and livestock from the lurking menace. But the creature, if it ever existed, was never caught. Our journey takes us south to the island of Leyte, where ancient traditions and beliefs are deeply intertwined with everyday life. It's the year 2000, and in a small coastal town, a young mother named Eleanor found herself at the heart of a chilling encounter.
My newborn baby Leah had fallen terribly ill. The local doctor, his brow creased with worry, had exhausted all known remedies, but Leah's condition continued to deteriorate. As the days turned into nights and Leah's cries grew weaker, a sense of dread settled over me.
Desperate, Elena turned to the village's albulario, a traditional healer revered for her knowledge of ancient remedies and her connection to the spirit world.
The albulario, her eyes filled with a knowing sadness, informed me that a malevolent entity, an Aswang, was preying on Leah's life force. She performed an ancient ritual, her hands moving deftly as she invoked the spirits for protection. She placed protective charms around Leah's crib, their pungent smell filling the air, and instructed me to hang garlic and salt by the windows and doors.
That night, Eleanor sat beside Leah's crib, her heart pounding in her chest. The wind howled outside, and the shadows in the room seemed to dance and writhe in the flickering lamplight.
Suddenly, a loud thud echoed through the house, followed by the unsettling sound of scratching at the door. I held my breath, my eyes wide with fear. The scratching continued, persistent, desperate, but the charms held.
As the first rays of dawn pierced through the darkness, the sounds ceased and an eerie silence descended upon the house. Leah, to Elena's immense relief, began to recover. The fever broke and her cries grew stronger with each passing day. The Aswang, thwarted by the albulario's powerful magic, had been vanquished. We journey now to the picturesque city of Tagaytay, known for its breathtaking views and cool mountain air. But beneath the beauty lies a darkness, a chilling tale from 2005 that sent shivers down the spines of locals.
It was a time when whispers of a different kind drifted through the streets, whispers of an Aswang lurking in the shadows, its eyes fixed on the most vulnerable, newborn babies. My wife and I, newly blessed with a beautiful baby girl, found ourselves at the center of this terrifying ordeal.
They had just returned home from the hospital, their hearts overflowing with joy. But their happiness was short-lived.
Strange occurrences began to plague our home. Unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and a constant feeling of being watched sent shivers down our spines. Then came the nightmares, vivid and terrifying, of a creature with bloodshot eyes peering into our baby's crib.
Driven by a primal fear for their child's safety, the couple sought the help of a local albulario, a wise old woman known for her knowledge of the supernatural.
The albulario, her face etched with concern, confirmed our worst fears. An Aswang, she explained, was drawn to our home, its malevolent gaze fixed on our innocent child. She performed a series of protective rituals, placing amulets around the baby's crib and sprinkling salt and garlic around the house. She instructed us to keep a vigilant watch, our love for our child serving as the strongest shield against the Aswang's dark intentions.
Nights were filled with anxiety, every creak of the floorboard, every rustle of leaves outside the window sending their hearts racing. But the baby remained safe, the Aswang's advances thwarted by the albulario's potent magic and the parents' unwavering love. Our final tale takes us to the lush province of Davao del Norte, where the line between the natural and supernatural is often blurred. It was 2010, and a pregnant woman named Isabel found herself at the heart of a chilling encounter that shook the community to its core.
I was heavily pregnant and glowing with anticipation, excited to welcome my first child into the world. But my joy was soon overshadowed by a series of unsettling events. I began experiencing vivid, terrifying dreams, nightmares that left me waking up in a cold sweat.
In these dreams, she was tormented by a grotesque creature, its eyes glowing red in the darkness, its long, sharp claws reaching out for her swollen belly.
The creature spoke in hushed, guttural tones, whispering of its hunger, its desire for my unborn child. Disturbed by these recurring nightmares, I confided in my grandmother, Lola Esme, a woman deeply rooted in the old ways, her wisdom passed down through generations.
Lola Esme listened intently, her face etched with concern. She recognized the signs, the telltale hallmarks of an Aswang's presence.
Lola Esme, her voice filled with a mixture of fear and determination, sprang into action. She gathered potent herbs and spices, their pungent aroma filling the air, and began preparing ancient remedies to protect me and my unborn child from harm. She placed protective charms around my wrist and above my womb, their presence a beacon of hope against the encroaching darkness.
Lola Esme stayed by Isabel's side, her presence a source of comfort and strength. She shared stories of courage and resilience, reminding Isabel that even in the darkest of times, love and faith could triumph over evil. As we delve deeper into the world of Filipino folklore, We're confronted with tales that both fascinate and frighten us. These stories are just a glimpse of how the Aswang remains a potent symbol in the Philippines, blending superstition, morality, and social critique. The Aswang, often depicted as a monstrous creature, reflects the fears and anxieties that have haunted the Filipino psyche for centuries. It serves as a cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk in the shadows, both within ourselves and in the world around us. Stay tuned for more eerie tales, and remember, sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we create ourselves.